Today's notes are on solving equations that have variables on both sides of the equal sign. Solving equations with variables on both sides. The steps that we are going to complete are similar to the steps that we worked with last time in solving multi-step equations. There's really just one more thing we need to take care of. We are always going to start by using the distributive property. That was step one. Step two last time said to combine any like terms. It's always been important to note, but especially with what we're doing today, it's important that we are only combining like terms if they are on the same side of the equal sign. We can combine like terms that are on the same side of the equal sign. We cannot combine them if they're on opposite sides. Step three is the only new step. Because we have variables on both sides of the equal sign, we need to move the variables to the same side. All the variables we need to move over to the same side of our equal sign. And then step four was the last step last time to solve the two-step equation that now results. So really, steps 1, 2, and 4 is what we had last time. Use the distributive property, combine like terms, solve the two-step equation. If we happen to have variables on both sides of the equal sign, we have one more step, and it happens in between combining like terms and solving the two-step equation, and that is to make sure that we move all of our variables over to the same side. Example 1 asks us to solve the following. Part A, we are asked to solve negative 6d equals d plus 4. Negative 6d equals d plus 4. Step 1 said to use the distributive property. I don't have any parentheses. There's nothing we need to take care of with distributing. Step 2 said to combine like terms. And while we do have some like terms, negative 6d and d are like terms, notice they're not on the same side of the equal sign. My equal sign's right here, and this negative 6d and this positive d, they're on different sides of the equal sign. If they're on different sides, I cannot combine them. There's nothing I should be combining here. I don't have any like terms that can be combined. And again, I cannot combine these d's because they are not on the same side of the equal sign. So there's nothing we need to do with steps 1 and 2 here. Once we've done that, we move on to step 3. All of the variables need to be moved over to the same side. So notice I have d's on this side and I've got d's on this side. We need to move them to the same side, which we can do by, this is positive d. I'm going to move it over by subtracting d from both sides. And remember, we are subtracting 1d. These cancel. I bring down my 4. Negative 6d minus 1d gives us a total of negative 7d. And then it says solve the two-step equation that results. This one actually is a one-step equation. I'm multiplying. I undo multiplication by dividing. Divide both sides by negative 7. 4 divided by 7 does not come out even. There's nothing I can divide those both by to reduce it. That's just our answer, negative 4/7. Part B. Part B says 2 times the quantity c minus 6 equals 9c plus 2. 2 times the quantity c minus 6 equals 9c plus 2. Step 1, use the distributive property. We can complete that step this time. 2 times c. 2 times negative 6. Again, we're always careful with our signs. Positive times negative should be minus. 2 times 6 is 12. Everything else gets copied down. Step 2 says to combine any like terms. Again, to combine the like terms, they must be on the same side of the equal sign. My equal sign's right here. There are no like terms I can combine here. There are also no like terms I can combine here. Because there are no like terms to combine, we can move on to the next step. Step 3 says to move all of our variables over to the same side of the equal sign. So I've got 2c and I've got 9c. I can move either one. It technically does not matter which one I move. Generally speaking, it's usually easiest to move the smaller one. So 2c and 9c, the smaller one's 2c. So that's the one I'm going to move, which I can move by subtracting 2c from both sides. If you subtracted 9c from both sides, that will also work. 2c minus 2c cancels. I'm going to bring down my minus 12. 9c minus 2c is 7c plus 2. Now we have a two-step equation. 7c plus 2. Last thing that happened was the plus 2. Let's subtract 2 from both sides. Negative 12 minus 2 is negative 14. 7 times c, we undo multiplication by dividing both sides by 7. Negative divided by positive is negative. 14 divided by 7. C equals negative 2. Part C says m minus 5 equals 3m. M minus 5 equals 3m. Check to see if there's anything to distribute. There is not. Check to see if there's any like terms to combine. There are not any like terms that are on the same side of the equal sign. So nothing we need to take care of in steps 1 or 2. All my m's, all the variables need to go on the same side. Again, it doesn't matter which one you move. You can move the 3m this way. You can move the 1m this way. Generally speaking, it's usually easiest to move the smaller one. 1m or 3m. The smaller one is 1m. So I am going to subtract 1m from both sides. The negative 5 comes down. When you move the 5 down, don't forget about the minus sign with it. 3m minus 1m is 2m. And divide both sides by 2. 5 divided by 2 does not come out even. It cannot be reduced. That is our answer, negative 5 over 2. Part D, 2x plus 1 equals negative 5x minus 6. 2x plus 1 equals negative 5x minus 6. As always, we start by checking to see if we can distribute, checking to see if there's any like terms that can be combined. Neither of those apply. So we move on to step 3. All of our variables need to get moved to the same side. 2x and negative 5x, I'm going to move the smaller one always. Positive numbers are bigger than negative numbers. The smaller one's the negative 5x. That's the one I'm going to move. Again, it's not wrong if you subtract 2x from both sides. Negative 5x plus 5x cancels. My minus 6 comes down. 2x plus 5x, those are now on the same side. I'm just combining them up. Gives me 7x plus 1. And now we're down to a 2-step equation. We've done lots of these. Subtract 1 from both sides. Divide both sides by 7. X equals negative 1 is correct. X equals negative 1. I'm going to complete this problem a second time. I'm going to do it rather quickly here, but I do want to show you, I moved that negative 5x over. I want to show you if I move the 2x over that I do get the same answer. So notice here, if I had subtracted 2x from both sides, my work's going to look a little different. Those cancel. Negative 5x minus 2x is negative 7x. I would add 6 to both sides. Negative 7x equals 7, and divide both sides by negative 7. And notice I still get x equals negative 1. Same answer. So it doesn't matter which way I move the variables. I can move them to the right or to the left. I think it's usually easiest if this coefficient right here is positive. So I always move the smaller one, but it doesn't matter. Either way, you should get the same answer, negative 1. Part E says 3x plus 2 equals 5x plus 18. Three x plus 2 equals 5x plus 18. I don't see anything to distribute. I see no like terms. Let's move the x's to the same side. Bring down my 2. Five x minus 3x gives me 2x. And we have a 2-step equation. Two minus 18 is negative 16. Divide both sides by 2, and I get x equals negative 8. Part F looks very similar to part E. 3x plus 2 plus 5x equals 18. I have all the same numbers. I have the same signs even. 5x is positive, 18 is positive. The equal sign's in a different place though. And here's what I see a lot of students do on this type of problem. Because we've been moving variables all over to the same side, and we've been doing this minus 3x a lot, right? Minus n, minus 2x, and so on. I see a lot of students do this, minus 3x. Don't write this down because it's wrong. I want you to think about, why can I not do that? That looks very similar to what we did over here. But it's incorrect this time. And the reason is, hopefully you've identified it, my equal sign's right here. Anytime I do something to one side of the equal sign, I have to do it to the other side of the equal sign. And this minus 3x here and minus 3x here, those are both on the left side of the equal sign, which means I cannot do that. That is not a legal step because I did it twice on the same side. So that's why I've encouraged you always to draw this vertical line down so we can kind of double check to make sure anything I'm doing on one side, I'm doing the same thing on the other side of the equal sign. So instead, to complete this problem, step 1 said distribute, nothing to do there. Step 2 says combine like terms. And I combine like terms if they're on the same side of the equal sign, which in this case, this 3x and that 5x are on the same side of the equal sign. So because they're on the same side, I just combine them. 3x plus 5x gives me 8x. I bring down my plus 2 equals 18. And now we're off and running. We have that two-step equation that we can solve. Minus 2 on both sides. Divide both sides by 8. I get x equals 2. One last problem to complete. It's the very last one. It kind of combines a lot of the things we've been doing here, both today and with solving other equations. It's got kind of a lot to it. We'll work through it together here. It says negative 6n minus 20 equals negative 2n plus 4 times the quantity 1 minus 3n. Negative 6n minus 20 equals negative 2n plus 4 times the quantity 1 minus 3n. A lot going on there. It looks super complicated, but let's take it through step by step. Step 1 said use the distributive property. I do have parentheses. We can distribute. I am distributing this plus 4. So everything else I'm going to copy down. Negative 6n minus 20 equals negative 2n. 4 times 1 is 4. Positive 4 times negative 3n. Positive times negative, that's minus. 4 times 3 is 12n. We use the distributive property. Step 2. Step 2 says to combine any like terms. So I'm looking at each side of the equal sign. My equal sign's right here. Nothing to combine on the left side. I do have some n's that I can combine on the right side. So negative 2n minus 12n. Negative 2 minus 12. If they're both negative, we need to add them. 2 and 12 make negative 14n. This plus 4 just comes down. There's nothing to combine that with. This side says negative 6n minus 20. Step 3 says if I have variables on both sides, I need to move them all to the same side. I do have n's on both sides. They need to go to the same side. Negative 14 is smaller than negative 6, so that's the one I'm going to move. I move negative 14n by adding 14n to both sides. My 4 comes down. Negative 6n plus 14n is 8n. And this minus 20 comes down. And we're down to a two-step equation. Add 20 to both sides. That says 8 times n equals 24, so divide both sides by 8. N equals 3. And that's a wrap for today's notes. I will see you all next time.